Well, I would say when it comes to stalking, when it comes to the art of stalking, I have been a victim. Sounds helpless. Victim. That's helpless. Of course, it's helpless. I have been a victim and also I have been a perpetrator. Oh boy, yes, I have. I've been. Well, it's calling out season, and where best to start if not from myself? So, yes, I am a stalker. I have been a stalker. I am no longer a stalker, okay? I have been a stalker and I have been stalked so much that I became a stalker. Circle of life, man. Oh, wait, that's not what circle of life means. It's all our first time here on Earth, so keep in mind that yays, lovers, and glasses of wine, these are the things that should never be counted. Hey you, I'm your host, Viva, a girl who's stuck with fiction and fantasy. Welcome, this is You Could Pod, where there is only possibilities of anything you could reckon. Be chill, do your thing while listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to subscribe and leave your notification buttons on, because that way I owe you everything. Hey, so I'm kicking this one off by talking about stalking. Yes, stalking. This just makes a different whole new ball game for me because I just got a different perspective. I got a different mindset about stalking. Yes, because generally stalking is the art of following or watching something closely to know its every move and intentions and all that. Yes, and most often it has a general connotation of being negative, of being a bad thing, okay, because it's unwanted and it's unusual and it's also illegal, okay. But then somehow I stumble onto this article that I'm going through and I get a different perspective about stalking. And I even realize that some of the stalking I have done myself personally is not really the bad or the negative part of stalking. I mean the part that a person or it will be reviewed and to be taken as, okay, stalking is such a bad thing. I got a different perspective about it. I got a different perspective about it. What was that? And I got a different mindset about it. And I even found out, most interestingly, that there is an anti-stalking, okay? Anti-stalking, which is the act of learning a person's routine in order to avoid them. And I have to tell you, this has been something I have done so much, so well. I had to follow things up so I can know the best way to not run into the stuff. I had to follow people up so I know the best way to not step on their foot, step on their feet, get in their way or make them mad or whatsoever. Because somehow anxiety, yes, that anxiousness that I don't know if I'm gonna get it. So the only thing I do, the only way I used to diffuse this crazy fire of anxiousness that burns inside me all the time is for me to just learn a routine. Okay, I get into, okay, this is sounding so invasion of privacy. It is 100%. It is sounding so invasion of privacy, but yes, it is. I have found out that I have mostly been an anti-stalker. Yes, I have learned so many people. This is not even like one thing or two persons or couple, a handful. I'm talking about a handful of numbers that I have stalked so I could find the best way to avoid them. This is a little bit weird to me, but hey you, welcome to another episode of You Could Pod with me, yes, Viva, your girl. And today I'm talking about how much I have stalked and how much I have been stalked and how much I actually believed for the longest period of time that stalking was a bad thing. And now I'm learning that it's not just so bad anymore. I mean, you could actually get something so good and so well and so fresh from stalking. Stalking can help you get better. Stalking can actually put you in those pines and the planes and the class and the readiness and the room that you have been so much preparing for. Yes, when they talk about opportunity, meeting, preparation, meeting, opportunity, I can remember the way each of that goes. But stalking is actually one of the stuff that can help you do that. So it's not so bad so much. No, it's not so bad. Stalking, which is the act of following something and watching it so closely, it literally just has a negative connotation. Okay, let's just break it down. It actually does have a negative connotation, because when you're stalking someone, this person don't want to be stalked. Okay, it's not what they want. They don't want people following them and knowing what they're about and all that. So it's unwanted and it's unusual, and trust me, it's illegal, right? I mean, it has to be. I don't know about laws here in my country, Nigeria, that's against that, but I'm just gonna guess that it is. I mean, it sounds illegal, so it has to be. And I'm sure in other parts of the world, it has to be illegal. What took me to this point that I had to structure about stalking and seeing the positive part of it? Yes, I talked about anti-stalking, which is learning a person's routine in order to avoid them. This is something I partook in a little bit much, just a little, okay? I partook in this particular act of anti-stalking just a couple years back, yes. And I did this when I was walking and I had this boss. Of course, I'm walking. Of course, I have to have a boss. It's the closest thing, right? Okay. So I had this boss, but there's this vibe between me and my boss, and it was not the kind of vibe that is needed. It's not the kind of vibe I should go for, or I should even aspire and want to have at all. If I was walking there, should I be walking there as I was walking there? So I had to find a way to get to know what he was about, This person wasn't stationed where I was working at all. Yes, because back then I was a waitress. Yes, I was a hostess. Yes, and I had this boss. Yeah, that was a little bit crazy. It's not crazy crazy in a bad way, okay? But somehow, he's into it. He has this in touch. He's just so in touch and in tune and all that with us working and doing it so much. And because he was always available and always there, to help you navigate or do whatever it is that you're finding as a stumbling block on, it was a safe for me on my part that I was getting a little bit, held, choked, say suffocated. That may sound very intense or harsh, but for me, it was looking like I was getting closed marked. And when I started, I was very terrible at it. I'm not gonna lie. I was a very horrible, terrible hostess. I was. So I had a whole lot of stuff to learn. I did. While in this course of learning this stuff, I had that there was this vibe between me and him that was, for me, I didn't like. I don't know. I think for me and for any other person, so it wouldn't be very appropriate, because it's not appropriate. I mean, I shouldn't be having all the whole power dynamics in the workplace. It wasn't good at all. So what did I do to actually help myself to get off this? I had to unstalk him, okay? I had to try to learn his routine, learn what it was for him, what other work was for him, in order for me to keep away from him. So I understood at first that yes, he worked with the HR, so he would be there, and I had to time him. I had to get so close. I had to see the way his work schedule was. I had to get into that, and I had to know when he would be available to come to my own area where I was working. And I had to even time how long he stayed before he had to get back to the office, when he has a call or when he just has a free time. And I had to stalk him. I get taps, I'm telling you. I get taps continuously for me to know how best to get out of this little bit of shit you wanky thing that I had going on then. Yes, I did. So it wasn't like I was stalking him to sort of harm him or something like that. It was a stalk for avoidance. You see, I needed to know, so I know the best way to do. And when I thought about it, I was reminiscing on this stuff, I found out that this is something almost all of us, a lot of us has gone through, because I had to recall and remember most times back when I was younger than I am today. Yeah. I don't know, whenever I say younger, and I'm speaking with my doctor and I say when I was younger, he's always like, what do you mean when you were younger? Dude, how old are you now? And he always gives me that. I'm like, why can this guy just let me get away with using the word when I was younger, using the sentence when I was younger? He never allows me to. Anyway, so when I was younger, I had to, of course, I had a little bit of bully. Yes. I was bullied. Yeah, I was actually bullied, but not by the same sex. I was bullied by guys. Yes, because then I was an assistant prefect. What it entails is this big connotation that you have to write the names of the noisemakers, because talking was prohibited. Of course, talking in class is prohibited. Imagine some group of teens or toddlers or young people, adolescents, just yammering away with whatever their ideas is, or whatever the gist is, or whatever happened in their lives is going to happen, their aspiration, their fantasies, their hopes and future. It will be a rainy, crazy place. So of course there are grounds and the classes for a person to write down the names of people who talked a lot in class. And it fell on me because as the assistant class prefect, being the girl, because it's usually the other way, the guy is the class prefect and then a girl has to assist. Mostly it was always part of my job to write that part, because you don't expect the class prefect, which obviously or seemingly have to have more jobs of importance and things to do, to write the tacky stuff. Although there were a couple of times, so many times that he had to write it, but oftentimes it fell on my lap. It was my thing. It was something I had to do. So I would write these names. And these guys were tough, okay? These guys were tough, The big people in the classes, big guys, they were way taller. They're stronger than you. They're just gonna do something and all that. But I was a little bit of lucky because I vibed with almost everyone. I did so well in being friends with. I was actually friends with the bad boys and all that because, you needed to have a little bit of footing, okay? And the best way to do it was not just to be a nerd, the ones that just followed people who were the front sitters and all that. I was, a whole lot of terms in school. I was the front sitter. Oh yes, I sat in the front seat a whole lot of times, and then I shared the middle seat. Back in secondary school, I filled up around. Like, I wasn't just known for a particular part. I was here and here and here. I mean, I fitted and I was an all-around girl, okay? So on one of these occasions where I had to write this person's name, oh my God, the dude had to wait it out for me. He did. He had to wait it out for me after school. And where my house was not so... where I lived, my parents, of course, was not so far from school. It was like a walking distance. It's something that I could walk, I could walk back home. So, of course, I had that... I had that dilemma, I had that thought, I had that instant fear all the time that, oh my God, I have to walk back home, and this person that I just wrote his name, this big ass person, well, not just even big, sometimes they weren't even big, they were just boys are stronger, I don't know, it's just that way, they're gonna beat you up, they're gonna do something to you. I was never beat up, but I was always very scared. I was, because you know what? I had brothers, and I know firsthand. I mean, I have the very first information on how strong those tooths are. I mean, I had brothers, so it wasn't a thing. I was just gonna go out there and then play around and then imagine that nothing is going to happen to me. No. I had that scare already. I had that fear that boys are just going to be mean to you. Who knows what he's going to do? I don't know. Sometimes I'm thinking, what was I even thinking that this guy was going to do to me? What was in my head? What was I thinking? What was I thinking? That he was going to beat me up? I don't know. Anyway, but at that time, I was young. I'm not thinking I am definitely thinking about the worst case scenario. I wrote this guy's name, flogged him. There's no way he's not getting back at me. And with also the fact that I have been threatened a whole lot of times with this guy. Would you write my name or would you write my name? Because there are different scenarios where I would write the names, and the only thing that has to be done to appease, for me to change the fact that I've not written your name is to give me a fresh paper. So you have to tear another one from your exercise book. You have to tear the center part, from the exercise book. So if I tore one from my book to write, there is no way I'm going to keep on tearing just out of the fear and the scare and the threats that this guy is going to give me. So I had a liaison. This is something that I could appease to them, make it look easier. I'll say, why don't you give me a full new sheet of paper and that'll be fine. And then sometimes when I'm being given a full sheet of paper, the name goes off. So at the end of the day, there were so many times, so many intervals where there are, sheets of different pieces of papers where there's just one name or three names or two names, few names written up, and then the paper is crumpled up and thrown away, and there's another one, and there's another one, and there's another one. So one time on this occasion before, I was almost going to be mugged by my fellow classmates over the fact that I did my job, which was writing the name of noisemakers. And I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't the calm person in class. I talked, dude. I mean, I wasn't the person who was just gonna be chill and quiet and say, oh, no, dude. I was feisty. I mean, I was inciting drama, bringing out stuff. That was part of the reason why I feel like that could be part of the reason why it was given to me to do, because if we can get you to shut up, then we can get a whole amount of people to shut up, because you're the one who's usually inciting others to talk. Oh my, yes, I had that position back then. When I was younger, I had that position. Okay. So, this particular, back to what I was saying, there's different sheets of paper, different pieces of papers. Now, this guy he's given me a new sheet of paper, and I have forgiven his sin, and I'm writing a new one. But this paper is been scrounged up. It's like, scuffed into the waste paper bin. But then the teacher comes in, the disciplinary teacher, he comes in and is like, are you telling me it's just 8 persons that has been talking in this class for the whole day? No, this is not right. If you don't provide the people who were talking, there's no way. Your class is literally one of the noisiest. There is no way you guys were blowing off the roof before I walked in here. He's asking and demanding for more names. I don't know because there's always a snitch, there's always a rat. I don't know who made that indication. Maybe he should check out the papers. And literally everybody was picking up papers. You see, everybody was picking up papers, opening papers, seeing like 2 names, 3 names, 4 names scrounged up and thrown away. He picks up this name. Oh my God. I'm not going to forget his name. I'm going to call his name right now. I'm going to call his name Mr. Omiko. Sir Omiko, that was his name. It's very funny because he had this name, Omiko, in Igbo, which will mean a person who is Omiko. Oh, come on. I know what it means. It will mean a person who is sympathetic, empathic, like someone who is very nice and kind and will always seem to show mercy and give a second chance in any circumstance, or should any problem suffice or arise, okay? But this guy was literally the opposite of his name, Omiko. He is the destroyer. He's the one that removes stuff. Okay, so everyone is like picking up on those scrounge papers. But you see, some of the guys who understood, some of them will pick up these papers, and when they do pick up the paper, they will have to see, they have to look through, and maybe they see their name, they're not going to give it up, okay? So at the end of the day, there were so many papers that were found, and he ended up punishing this guy, okay? He flogged this guy, and it was painful. Of course, that's why you're being scared. Now I have nephews and nieces and other people who say kids are not really being flogged anymore. I'm like, wow, that must be so nice. But how do you get to control them? Dude, like, these guys are scroungers. How do you get to put them in a place? I have friends who are teachers and they're like, oh my God, I have to talk. I'm like, wait, you guys are doing this soft parenting thing, but you're not even a parent. Why are you soft parenting? Threaten these people, man. I'm not for violence, okay? I'm not one for violence. I don't accept it. I don't incite it. But all I'm saying is, come on, dude. This little people, this little one, because they need to be put in place. And what other measures should they use? So back to it, he picks up the stuff and he ends up punishing this guy. And it's not safe, it's like unwarranted, unlimited, because everyone expects it. He's always the one, he's the crazy lot in the class, okay? This guy's been punished, and then, of course, he gave me a fresh new paper, and somehow it ended up being punished. I have to get it. So I was bullied to that part. And it was a continuous thing, okay? It was a continuous thing because this guy was always a noisemaker, and I had to always somehow make sure that he wasn't getting whatsoever done or not done, okay? So it was a continuous stuff. So that I believe will be the first time I had to anti-stalk. I had to do this anti-stalking because I had to learn his routine, learn his timing. Okay, I had to wait him out. Since I live close to the school, I had to wait. I wasn't gonna go like very early. I mean, now immediately the bell rings, then I'm pushing out of the class. No, I wasn't that person. And sometimes there are intervals where you get to sweep the class. Okay, the times when you have to be the one who sweeps the class and all that, and then you have to wait. So I had to learn his routine. I had to learn the timing. I had to learn his group. Okay, the people he always went home with. I had to look out for them, check out with them. I had to talk to some of them. Okay, I had to meet them, talk to them, and tell them, okay, I need to know when you guys are going. And I even had to sometimes bribe. Yes, I had to bribe and coerce them to get to talk this guy to go home earlier or not, as to avoid myself being bullied. Okay, so in that and different other scenarios, stalking and anti-stalking wouldn't be a bad thing. Okay, because I wasn't doing it to get to bring harm. I was doing it for self-defense. I was doing it to get myself out of a rig. Okay, and I was doing it to learn a pattern. And then when I grew up more back in high institution, I had to even get into it more. Yes, I was stalked so many times it's became a problem. It became a trouble for me. It was a big deal for me. I had to get help to get myself out of that, but I don't want to dwell on the negative. I try not to dwell on the negative because I'm more bright and sunny and Jerry. Okay. I don't even recall. I could tell you that story now, but there'll be so many pauses and so many thought processes going on, which I have to fill in with my gibberish. Okay. So I'll just let on the one that easily flows to me, which is the happy and the cool moment, because that's just how my brain works. I just dwell on the sweet stuff, and I never recall these other ones. Back in high institution, I had to do it. I had to gain favor, and in order for me to gain favor with some persons, to curry favor with maybe some of the lecturers or the people I needed, I had to anti-stalk them. I had to learn their routine to know when it's best to go talk to them. And some people that I actually wanted something more that was not in the school phase or anything, I had to also anti-stalk them. I had to know what is best to gift them, how to get best close to them, what I could do that would be very nice and lucrative. And I'm not gonna lie, I made so many friends till today. I have friends that I anti-stalked. No, that I actually stalked, not the anti-stalking, okay, because I wasn't trying to avoid them, okay, that I stalked. Yes, I was a stalker, okay, pardon me. But it wasn't so dramatic or for crazy effects, okay, and it wasn't for stalking a boy. Oh, did I ever stalk a boy? Yes, I did. Of course I did. Come on, of course I did. I'm straight and I'm a girl. Of course I have those phases. Okay, I was once an adolescent and once a teenager. Of course I stalked a boy. I did. Of course, generally I did. But I had to learn this routine in order to know what best, in order to know my chances of getting this favor, of getting the stuff I actually wanted. Yes, it was for my reasons. You could say my selfish reasons or whatever, however you want to put it. Okay, no props, right? But yes, it's what I did. I did that 100%. I stalked. And I used it to get what I wanted. But then, as I said, I got a different perspective. I got a different mindset and perception about stalking. Yes, I did, because I stumbled upon this article written by John Campbell by October 12, 2019. So it's been a little bit behind. And this article is most focused on the fact that self-stalking, the ways that self-stalking, there's a person stalking themselves. Look at that, self-stalking, and the ways it can actually improve you. It can improve the self-stalker. The ways, the practices of self-stalking can lead to improvement. So I'm gonna read out a little bit of 7 Principles for Self-Stalking Practices for Improvement by John Campbell, October 12, 2019. First of all, this guy says, it doesn't matter what anybody says or does. You must be an impeccable man yourself. The fight is right here in this chest. It takes all the time, all the energy we have to conquer the idiocy in us. And that's what matters. The rest is of no importance. To be an impeccable warrior will give you the vigor and youth and the power. So this principle of self-stalking and practices we do continually. The principle teaches us how to be impeccable and with our attention while we practice. Whether we are rock climbing or at home or our phones or doing whatever thing we love to do, whatever is that favorite thing we love to do, maybe just being on social media, getting entertained and all that stuff we usually do. So, like I said, I am going to read out the 7 principles of self-stalking. The first one he writes here, he indicates here, is we choose the arena. And under this is the first principle of the art of stalking is that the warriors choose their battleground. A warrior will never go into battle without knowing what the surroundings are. Our daily lives are full of challenges, many of which we don't select, the same imposed upon us, yet we can live each day with awareness, which helps us know our surroundings. So that means you have to know what's up, right? You have to know what's in. You have to know what you want. You have to know what it is you're playing for. You have to know what exactly you're trying to grasp. And in my case, in the different the scenarios and instances that I have given here, I had to know that the surrounding I needed was to know what this guy was doing in order for me to avoid him, so I don't get all this stuff the pressure that I was feeling back at work. Okay, I had to know the surrounding of the guy who was gonna bully me because I wrote his name on the list of the noise-making pile. I had to know what it was like, his timing, when he leaves home and all that. And I had to also know on another scenario, I had to know the people that I needed their favor from. Okay, I had to know when is best to talk to them, when is best to approach them, their timing, what is best to give to them, what will cheer them up on what the surrounding is like, which is the first principle as we choosing the arena. And the second one he writes, we focus. To discard everything that is unnecessary is the second principle of the art of stalking. We miss important elements in battlegrounds or are caught off guard unless we focus. Therefore, we discard unnecessary mental chatter and focus all attention on our surroundings. Yes. You have to let go of whatever it is, right? You have to forget whatever it is that doesn't matter or aid you towards the goal of your reason for stalking, which is, I think this particular article is way more involved in self-stalking, which is an act of improvement. For you to grow, you have to first focus, right? You have to know your arena and you know your surroundings, know your environment. It's just like, okay, I live in Nigeria. What are the chances? What is leveled for me? What are the things I can get? What am I open to? What can I receive? What can I go into? If you're a business-minded person, what is the best business should I head into, for you to know, oh, am I here to make money on it, or am I here to actually make a difference, for you to know the environment, for you to know what is best for you to choose on the tactics. So this is for self-improvement. While you're self-stalking, the first which read, you choose the arena, which is knowing your environment, and then secondly, we focus, because this is generally talking to every other person, me myself also included, because of course I almost all the time thought that stalking was from the bad narrative, but now I'm getting to understand that self-stalking is actually what helps you improve from your day-to-day lives, from my everyday, from my annual, from my family relationships, personal life, personal values, whatever it is we're working for, fun and all that stuff we care about so much. And then thirdly, under the 7 principles, the third one reads, we align our motivation. Apply all concentration to have to decide whether or not to enter into battle, for any battle is a battle of one's life. This is the third principle of the art of stalking. A warrior must be willing to ready to make his last stand here, but not in a helter-skelter way. We evaluate our motivation and continually align with the intrinsic learning-based processes which keep our attention in and here and now in correspondence. So you have to align your motivation, know what you want, which is almost the same thing as focusing. I mean, if you ask me, yes, you have to determine, you have to focus, you have to be very more determined and articulate about what it is you're actually going for, if it's in your personal life or it's an achievement or it's something you're actually stalking like stalking 101 someone else. Yes, we have to evaluate our motivation and continually align it with our intrinsic learning-based processes which keep our attention in here and now aligned. And then the fourth one reads, we trust the process. The fourth principle of the art of stalking is relax, abandon yourself, fear nothing. Only then will the powers that guide us open the road and aid us. We do not know what we need to learn before we learn it. Therefore, we trust how situations guide our learning. A great way to do this is developing the practices of honoring petty tyrants, those irritating people and situations that distract our attention. We honor stress instead of being offended by it. I like this particular one. I like this trust in the process. I like this particular point because I feel like now it's crazy. It's so crazy. People get offended. People are listening to everything you're saying. People are trying to figure out, to imagine, oh, does that statement mean a shade? Does that statement mean they're trying to get back at me and all that? Just like it says. A great way of developing this practice is by honoring the petty tyrants, those irritating people, the situation that distracts our attention. We honor stress instead of being offended by it. Just chill, okay? That's what it's trying to say, just chill. And the fifth one goes, we cycle out of battle if needed. The fifth principle is when faced with odds that cannot be dealt with, warriors retreat for a moment. We can't stay in stress. Therefore, we pay attention to our need for rest and seek ways to retreat if needed. You just have to, you don't have to, there's no need. People always attack everything head on. Oh no, I've already started. I have to get there. It's as if now if I don't get there, I'm not gonna, what am I doing? If I don't make it, take your time. I am actually saying this to myself personally, way more personally, is because almost all the time, I find myself that I am going towards something and I'm like, no, I've not gotten it yet. I feel so frustrated. I get almost frustrated so much, a lot, about the fact that I've not gotten there. I've not reached there. What am I doing? And I don't take the time to rest. I don't take the time to chill and like, okay, maybe I should restrategize. Maybe I should just chill, and regroup and retreat and get more power, get more clean up and then know what's best to do. So this is personally for me, as it is also to you and every other person who needs to hear this. And then the sixth one, which goes, we pay attention in the moment. Okay. The sixth principle, warriors compress time. Even an instant counts. In a battle for your life, a second is an eternity. An eternity that may decide the outcome. Warriors value each other's moment by being present. They pay attention to what's occurring now. Present. This is another one that is screaming to me. It is, because anxiety, man, anxiousness, I don't know. It's crazy. I just can't. It's hard. It's literally a very hard stuff for me to do, because I am thinking, what if it doesn't go right? What if it goes right? What if it's going right? What if it's not? What if it's not the way? Maybe I should do such that. It's always ahead. And it's frustrating, I'm not going to lie. This is very frustrating, and this is nice. I am feeling way better that I'm actually reading this right now, because I get to understand that I should chill. Okay, nothing is crumbling. I mean, you're either going to get it or you're going to get it. There's no other way. All you have to do is take your time and chill it out, and it's gonna happen. So to me and every other person alike, you know what's up, all right? And the seventh, which is the last, I believe, right? Is we are covert, not overt. Okay. All right. Okay. A stalker never pushes himself to the front. Only a master stalker can be a master of controlled folly. I have to start again. I don't know. I just feel like, this is talking to me. We are covert, not overt. A stalker never pushes himself to the front. Only a master stalker can be a master of controlled folly. Is not an outright deception, but a sophisticated artistic way of being separated from everything while remaining an integral part of everything. I have to read that again for myself and for who wants to hear it. A stalker never pushes himself to the front. Only a master stalker can be a master of controlled folly. Is an outright deception, but a sophisticated artistic way of being separated from everything while remaining an integral part of everything. The worst thing we can do is draw attention to ourselves. That only emboldens the ego. Therefore, we go about our lives controlling the folly that balances separating from an achievement-oriented life while remaining integrally connected to a learning-based life. Oh boy. Notes to self: I am covert, not overt. Well, anyway, I don't know. Yes, as I said, this is actually me reading this for the first time. I mean, I had to glance through it. And I know as I was talking about stalking, as I got into wanting to talk about stalking today, I was like, yes, because I've actually had someone point me towards the 7 principles of self-stalking. I'm like, what? Self-stalking? Okay, I'll check it out. But I'm checking it out now, and I'm getting a different perspective. Like I already said, it gives me a different mindset about the fact that stalking is not as horrible as it is. It's actually a moment of growth. It's actually something that gets you up for growth. And the results, what is the result of self-stalking? Okay, Don Juan shares the result of practicing self-stalking, which he says applying these principles brings about 3 results. The first is that the stalker never learns to take themselves seriously. Importantly for me, they learn to laugh at themselves, and if they are not afraid of being a fool, they can fool anyone. Can you imagine that? The second is the stalkers learn to have an endless patience. Stalkers are never in a hurry, they never fret. And the third is that the stalkers learn to have an endless capacity to improvise. So look at that. It's patience, it's improvisation, and it's not taking yourself or oneself seriously. This is literally the basis. This is literally the basis. If you're gonna stalk someone, you listening to me right now, okay? You. If you're gonna have to stalk someone, all you have to do, you already know that. Don't take yourself seriously. Be patient, and you have to improvise. And if you have to stalk yourself to make yourself get better, if you have to stalk a situation to get ahead of it, to get better at it, to get a better opportunity, to get an upper hand, or the best way to fit into that situation, this almost explains it. It does. I'm happy that I found this. I am happy. So just for the last time, I'm going to run through the 7 principles. The first one, which is we choose our arena. The second, we focus. The third, we align our motivation. Fourth, we trust the processes. Fifth, we cycle out the battle if needed. 6, we pay attention in the moment. And 7th, and my most, we are covert, not overt. Yes. So of course, stalking is not so bad and all that. It is something that can actually help you. It's something that can actually help you in your personal life. It is something that can actually help you with whatever it is you want to do. And when it says covert, we are covert and overt. I feel like I have to give out the meaning of covert. Covert would mean, I think in definition, would mean not openly displayed or acknowledged. Like when, you're not trying to take up stuff for yourself. You're not trying to be the belle of the ball. You're not trying to be the one that everyone's eyes is on. You're not trying to take yourself so seriously. And we are overt. It says we are not trying to take ourselves seriously. We are trying to be overt, which is we are trying to show openly. We're not trying to take everything for ourselves, but we're trying to be apparent. We're trying to share it, to be unnoticed, to be undisguised. Look at that, you see? So stalking is not bad. Stalking is integral. Stalking is important. Stalking is something we should all learn. Yes, because I had a couple discussion about the stalking with some acquaintances, and I got their barriers, although it was more like we just dishing out what we thought about it. And I think it was nice. It was 100% nice because I get to hear the perspective about things, which shaped and changed a lot for me personally. I was happy I had these discussions with them. I got to understand, and now I fully am aware that stalking is a way to help yourself, help better whatever it is you're going for. And for we young people in this era of social media, yes, we even have the better tools, the most wonderful tools, stalk whatever it is we actually want to. Now there's Google, you can literally learn anything. Now there's classes, you could just learn how to do stuff just by looking into it. Okay, all you have to do is just use the tools available for you and make it better there. So Viva, now you've had that, and every other person. Yes, I feel like this is a little bit personal for me. This is a little bit personal for me because I'm taking this to heart. I am taking it to heart. I'm taking it a bit concise and kept for myself, because stalking, yes, I feel like if I had known this earlier, if I had known this all this while, I would have been better with so many opportunities. So this would be goodbye and a barrier. This is a barrier to all the opportunities we missed, to all those rooms we walk into and we couldn't make anything out of it because we didn't know, we didn't have the particular tools or the right tools, or because we were so shy or so self-involved or so thinking about what we're gonna say, what do I fit here, when the inferiority complexes comes in and all that. So this is a barrier to them. Now, so if you have this perfect tool of self-stalking, you can go places, you can literally go anywhere, you can make anything out of anything. So it's even best for us, the millennials and the Gen Zs, because we have at our fingertips social media, the internet, the height of internet that helps you grow if you have to use it. I mean, I'm not saying this is just only good, okay? Because this crazy notion, okay? There's this crazy notion right now that people just want to be famous and they don't even care about nothing anymore. To me, it's a little bit embarrassing. I feel a little bit embarrassed for people. And I'm like, really? Can people go to this extent? Can people go down to this length just to get to this point? It's crazy. It's as if there's no morals, there's no standards, there's no personal values anymore. But you can use that for your own good. I mean, everybody knows what they want. Only you know your intention, which is one of the biggest fear that people have. And so do I have, because you don't know what the other man is thinking. So you're just living every day hoping that they are thinking good just as you are thinking good for yourself and for them. So you just like leveraging your life and staying on it and being all chill. So yes, stalking, self-stalking, and anti-stalking, learning a person just to be able to avoid them. I feel like it's more here on now. I mean, now during this era of social media, yes, because people literally are online, but they don't want to be online when the other person is online, so they don't get a message and all that, because when there's this availability, you see that availability take and notification, okay, this person is here, this person is ready, we can talk, this person can talk with me right now. And then somehow you don't want to, okay? But you have to learn to anti-stalk them. So when they're always online, okay, this person comes online very early in the morning and they're not online this other time, so I know the best way to avoid them, or I know the best way to get to talk to them. So you see, stalking is not so bad. It's not. And now I have learned that it's actually a tool I could use to improve my life. It's actually a tool you could use to improve your life. It's a tool we all should use to improve our lives and get it better. Yep. So stalking, anti-stalking. I've been a stalker. I am a stalker. And I am telling you right now, I am going to continuously be a stalker. I am not going to fret about saying that anymore. Oh my God, were you stalking me? Yes, I'm stalking you. And if it's a boy that I like, yes, now I have to stalk you, man. I have to. So I can get the best plane, the best time, to practice out my intents on you. Okay, that's just funny. Anyway, take it the way it's best to be understood. Take it the way it will best serve you and it will best aid you to your improvement and your globalization and your increment and development. Yes, stalking. Viva, you are a stalker. You've been a stalker, and you are going to be a stalker, and you should be a stalker. Hey, you, yes, I'm talking to you. You should be a stalker. You should learn the art of stalking to help you to improve yourself. You should learn the art of stalking to help to get yourself out of that situation or out of that person that is always, somehow you're always catching up with them. You're always running into them, and it's awkward and you don't want to. Anti-stalking, people. Use that, okay? And you should use stalking to get to know when is best or how best or the time that is most appropriate for you to get into this person and know what to tell them and know how to tell them and know what to gift them, okay? If there's need to be a gift to appease the gods. So stalking in every manner and class and form, as you've seen, as you've heard, as we read together, is useful. And it's only the useful tools that we should use, right? I mean, even the useless tools sometimes, because the Bible said, he uses the foolishness of the world to make out, oh my God, okay? I am so A-okay. I'm quoting Bible. I'm lit, honey. Stalker, yes. And don't forget, yes, lovers and glasses of wine, these are the things that should never be counted, okay? Just take your time, take your pace. There is no take time to retreat, just like the article says. Take time to retreat, take time to go back a little and re-strategize and resurface. So take your time. There is no rush, honey. It's just you. There is no competition. It's just you against yourself and your people in your head and your alter ego and all those crazy, yammering crazy people. There's upstairs there trying to pull you back. I'm talking about the people in your brain, in your head, in your mind, okay? Some relative or some geckos or wankers you don't know about. No, I'm talking about those ones that helped tell you that you are going to make it, or you're tired now, or you should wait, or you should go for it, or yes, why not? All those voices in your head that matters, that cares, that's your biggest motivation and your inspiration, your biggest pullback. You can always use it for the best thing, okay? So learn to stalk yourself, learn to stalk a situation which will best lead you to the best moments, and learn to stalk yourself away from trouble, okay? Learn to stalk yourself away from trouble, because all the time it matters, okay? Be a stalker for yourself, for your gains, for your future, for your intentions, and from away from stress and all the troubles of life. Because, my dear, they finish, like it doesn't end. So take your time, just straddle your bag and chill, relax, sip some bottles or shots and cocktails or whatever works for you, honey. Beer, whiskey, cognac, brandy, whatever it is, it does for you. Just sip it, and don't forget to join the conversations, yes, on our social media handles, on IG, Instagram, So You Could Pod, and Facebook, yes, As You Could Pod. This is nice. This has taught me a lot, and I am so chill and happy that I did it. Yes, I am. And lastly, again, yes, I can now live in my fantasy and my fiction world and understand that all I need to do and to handle life best is by stalking. I could even stalk my fantasies and my fictions and my dreams. Viva, did you hear that? Yes, I did. I did so well. I heard it, and so did you. So while you are having a blast out there and stalking away all your goals and making it happen and stalking away all the troubles and making it go away, have fun. And again, don't forget that yes, lovers and glasses of wine, these are the things that should never be counted. I will catch you again in a jiffy, because I'm always going to be here. You're stuck with me. I told you, I owe you everything. With that said, it's Viva here, the fantasy and fiction girl. Ciao, ciao, and catch you again. Peace. Peace. Mwah. Because I always have to give a kiss.